the Duke of the Nuke. So, load up your fat man, find a death claw, and crank this shit up. Boom. 8-bit hits, baby.
Have you paid your dues, Jack? Yes, sir, the check is in the mail.
I have an announcement to make. Earlier this week, I was out exploring the Commonwealth and, well, kicking some ass. Anyway, I stumbled across a rambling, bumbling, bambling idiot. He said his name is Arnold, but I lovingly like to refer to him as Arnie, 'cause really, he's not half bad once you get used to him. Go ahead, Arnie. Say hello.
Hello everyone, it's me, Arnie. I'm very happy to be here. When Duke found me, I was naked, cold, and I had no ice cream. Now I have all the ice cream I could ever want. And I have clothes now, although they do kind of smell.
Yeah, no, Arnie, I think it's just you. You smell.
Okay, so maybe you're right. But maybe if we had even more ice cream, we could do even better.
Listen, the only person with more ice cream than me is Ice Cream Carl. And I'm not about to go raid his station, cause you know why? If there's one man in the world I love, it's that motherfucker.
No, we need the ice cream now! Duke, if I don't get the ice cream, I'm going to cry!
Shut the fuck up before I get medieval on your ass. Don't make me tell you again.
Listen, we need to fix the tax problem in this state. The taxes are not being equally distributed across the socio-economic platform that we need to reach. In order to move forward, we need to make sure that all Californians are getting the equal representation that they deserve.
Yeah, I think he might have been in politics in his past life. This goes out to all you Diamond City girls. Your face, your ass. What's the difference? I don't care. Here on 8-Bit Hits.
Alright.
I try not to make a habit of this, but I just can't help but keep inviting interesting people into my station. This time I met a guy named Ellie. Go ahead, say hello, Ellie.
Booyakasha, why is the licky katwana down? Hey, respect is important, and Duke deserves all the respect ever. If you don't respect Duke, he's gonna knock you out, innit?
Yeah, sometimes I can't really understand what he's saying, but he's pretty funny. So what was this idea you were telling me about?
So, yeah man now, what is the most popular thing in the world?
I don't know. Music.
No, you is wrong. It's ice cream. Yeah, I like ice cream.
Arnie, shut the fuck up.
Yeah man now, ice cream. And what is the problem with ice cream?
Yeah, I don't know.
I know the problem, Duke. The problem with ice cream is that it melts.
Yeah, anyway, Ellie, go ahead.
So, ice cream, it melts, aight? So you's holding it and your hands get all sticky from the ice cream dripping. So me has come up with this brand new idea. It's called the ice cream glove. So you can hold your ice cream without your hands getting all sticky, innit?
Ellie, that is gonna be the worst idea I've ever heard.
Duke, don't talk to him like that. It's an amazing idea. This could be great for business.
Well, I'm not buying it. Anyway, if you want to hear more interesting things like this, yeah, I guess you should just, tune in to 8-Bit Hits. God damn it.
Jesus, that was strong. I'm doing this web quest. So, trees, you're fighting angered elms. Really strong. Done. We got a lot of language stuff for me. Okay. One cookie. Good times. Since we're not really doing much chatting, that way on podcast I can listen to.
Bible in the rest of it is Tuesday Night Titans, but on Thursday, I am JD from New York, as always, joined by my co-host on Tuesday nights, my very good friend Andrew Dalla. What is going on, man? Holy shit, but it's been running, man. It's not at lunchtime.
I know. Only I'm sitting here having my second cup of coffee. My espresso machine is working overtime today for sure. And yeah, I'm getting into the nooks and crannies of meetings and stuff like that. Man, what a day. Unfortunate news is unfortunate news, but we'll take a different approach to this whole thing that happened today, myself and JD. And yeah, man, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is. I did not expect anything to happen this quickly. I expected it to happen, but not literally within the same week, where we had over 100 people fired from WWE because of the merger with Endeavor. We're going to get into that. I got the list of names. I really want to preface this by saying, please stop and just hold off on predicting who's going to be next. Nobody wants to lose their job, and we don't want anybody to lose their job. I've seen it all over social media, troll accounts, and people pretending to be sad, reporting news about people getting released. Just calm down. We're going to go over this in the most timely fashion and the most respectful fashion. We got the list of names. We're going to talk about each one of these names, and we're going to talk about the SmackDown moving to USA Network deal, as I have a lot to say on that as well. Drew, the floor is yours. Like I usually do on Tuesday. Let's start this off. What you want to start with?
Well, I want to say this. We are not going to take your typical doom and gloom approach here. This episode of TNT. It's a special episode, obviously, for good circumstances and obviously some bad, unfortunate. But JD doesn't know this, but the game we're going to play today, and it's not really a game for people's lives. We're going to predict where people are going to end up. We're not going to predict their downfall or how we mismanage them or didn't use them the way we would like to see them. We get it. These are people's lives, people's jobs. Have a heart today. I understand there's a lot of content creators jumping on the bandwagon, doing shows and everything else like this. This show was going to happen. I called JD at 8 o'clock this morning, and this show was happening before the talent cuts had occurred. We were going to talk about SmackDown. That's the big picture here. We will also talk about where we believe this list of talents will end up. All of them will end up somewhere, just where. But again, I urge you all to be appreciative of what you have. All those men have been living out their dreams. Those dreams are now ending. Some for the better, some for the not. They'll all find their ways regardless. And today is the day to have compassion. Do not talk about how this person should have got released, how that person should. That's just tone deaf.
Yeah, absolutely. And before Drew gets into what we're going to start off with, I want to read this tweet as a starter from Matt Cardona. Absolutely love Matt Cardona. I'm a huge fan of his, even more so now than I was then when he was with the E. He said this about an hour ago on Twitter. To those who were just released, this can be the end of your career, or it can be the beginning. And he highlights end and beginning in capital letters. Look yourself in the mirror and decide. I promise you the work and the money, which he highlighted in capital letters as well, is out there. It's not easy. It's a grind. It's a hustle. It's frustrating. But it's also something that could be incredibly rewarding in more ways than one if you work your fucking ass off. I hope to see a lot of you down the road. That tweet went viral in the wrestling community with almost 16,000 likes. Shout out to Matt Cardona. He's absolutely owning everything right now as the indie god, and he is absolutely correct.
No doubt about it. Matt said everything that he needed to say, and it's very well said in my opinion. Matt knows. Matt was released, and everyone's like, well, where's Cardona going to end up? He's going to go here, he's going to go there. Matt carved out his own path, and Matt's doing very well for himself. Long Island fan like myself and JD here. So I love to see men and women thrive, especially with something that they love. And listen, you want to talk about some big money, Cardona and Ziggler on the Indies. I mean, they can make a lot of
shit, man. Well, let me call up House of Glory. Let's get Dolph over there already, man. Cardona's a world champion. I'd love to see that. But yeah, man, let's start this show. What do you got to start off?
All right, well, let's why don't you run through the names? I'll start off with a couple. We'll go one for one. I want to, where do you think they'll end up? Will it be Impact? Will it be AEW?
You
the New Japan or Ring of Honor, whatever. They're all tied up in the AEW realm besides New Japan. That's the beauty. I want to say this too. The beautiful thing about what happened today. It's always darkest before the dawn, right? But the business is so healthy that all of these men and women will end up somewhere, and that's such a good thing because realistically, 10 years ago, this is the case, right?
Yeah. Impact. I mean, neither Drew, myself watched Impact, but I know Jesse, my other co-host on Wednesday nights, loves Impact. He fell in love with Impact recently. They, according to some of the people that watch that regularly, are putting on some of the best television right now that people aren't watching. Shout out to them. Some of these names could end up over there. I do want to, again, preface this. I know the industry is thriving and there's a lot of money to be made in pro wrestling now. A lot of these names may end up somewhere. A lot of these names may end up on the indies doing indie work. As far as AEW being the second biggest promotion in pro wrestling right now, but with how loaded they are, how likely is it that Tony Khan's going to be looking at the list of free agents that come out today and be interested in bringing some of these names in? I mean, isn't he already stuck with some problems over there with a loaded roster and he doesn't know what to do with half the people that he has in order?
You know what, JD? It's a really good question. I think, truthfully, what Tony should do is, if there's an opportunity, obviously, to do something special and to do something unique, take it. For me, I think he should focus on what he has, because last night was a great launching pad again, where they want to go. And I cringe at the thought of having an even.
Yeah. Some of these names, one or two of these names I could absolutely see Tony Khan being interested in, but let's start with this one that broke. And I think it was actually a fucking, to be honest with you, because Ali, in just a couple of weeks, wrestling Dominic Mysterio had No Mercy, NXT No Mercy for the North American Championship. And that match is now not happening because Ali posted on Twitter that he's no longer with the company and he will see everybody down the road. Again, I thought this was a troll job. And it goes to show you, Drew, that higher-ups, some of the suits and ties, aren't really paying attention to every piece of WWE show across the board. They're not paying, close enough attention to every aspect of WWE. Otherwise, a move like this wouldn't have been made to basically stifle Shawn Michaels' creative down there when this has been something that's been planned for weeks now.
No, that's not it. I think this is mutual. I think he wanted out. Yeah. I think he wanted out. I think obviously he would have done what he was asked to do.
Yeah.
That's because he is a professional. But I do believe that Mustafa Ali wanted out.
I'm not surprised by it. I mean, he's been quite the character online about wanting his release, asking for his release, not being granted his release. I thought a move to NXT was actually going to revitalize him. I guess he felt like he was in the same boat down there by not really advancing what he had in mind for himself. But, going back to your original question, Ali, I'd love to see him perfect his craft in AEW, and that's a tailor-made partnership there. I think the way Ali wrestles is great for AEW. But honestly, I'm going to say Ali would fucking kill it in Impact, bro. I think Ali and what he does would be absolutely perfect for that next thing.
I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. Every one of these talents is going to kill it in a career revitalization, whether it's Impact, Ring of Honor, under the AEW umbrella. I think some of them, like Top Dollar, AJ Francis, I think he can easily go be an analyst for college football, for whatever. I don't know if he has any more rights in the wrestling business, but at the end of the day, somebody like Mustafa Ali, I would love to see an AEW. I was there to kill it in Impact professional wrestling as well. I just think that these men and women need to truthfully absorb, comprehend, and then make the best financial decision, and also the best career decision. You don't necessarily need to jump over to AEW and be like, what's national TV? The edges of the Adam Cole, that's your next logical step. For me, if you really want to get your career back on track, take the, you want to get back on track, take the Drew McIntyre approach.
It's the
Went independent, and then won a bunch of championships under Impact, all this other stuff. That's true.
Yeah, he does. How many times was a complete vision to do what WWE wanted him to do? And not giving him the freedom to do what he wanted to do and express his creativity. Now he has an entire industry to go out there and express himself the way that he wants. I mean, Bob Holly, I'm looking at this as a fucking situation for myself because, you know, he didn't get across what he wanted to do in WWE. Now he has the opportunity to do that whatever he wants. I mean, that is liberating. That's got to make him feel good at the end of the day. If he really did X for his release and now he can do whatever he wants, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and the thing here is that realistically, I think Musfali was doing some of his best work when he was anti what they wanted to have for the storyline. So I think him in AEW works. It's a match made him, and that's where I think he'll end up. But again, if there's something bigger and better for him, maybe on the independents for a little bit, and even Impact, he can really make his name more impactful, no pun intended. Because here's the thing, guys and girls. I mean, I would bet a lot of money in my bank account right now that Adam Copeland is headed to AEW. That's a big fish. So, again, do you want to get swallowed up by, you know, Adam Copeland's debut in AEW and kind of what they got going on? I would want to be a small fish in a giant pond, especially if this release. I try to be a small fish in a medium-sized pond. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's cool. Adam Copeland may end up with AEW, Mercedes as well. Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks. So they have their own things to worry about. Ali and all of these names could realistically end up with AEW, but you know, Tony Khan should really focus getting AEW back on track.
Yo, KS, what up, brother? How you doing, man? Hope you enjoy the tunes, bro. And good afternoon to you as well. Yes, leave the landing area. Well, I'm going back, but I just need to.
Staying alive. Staying alive.
This is West.
Staying alive. No wonder I never had a career in music. You were listening to 8-Bit Hits.
Alright, cool. Stay alive. Alright, I love this station, man. For playlist. Handle the letter. Okay. Plus, I can go back to my home region.
Enter. I did not expect the Gridanian envoy to be an adventurer. It speaks highly of your character that the Elder Seedseer would choose an outsider to represent her nation's interests. This way. I bid you welcome.
Oh, damn. What?
I am Melvin Bluefistfin, Admiral of the Seas and Commander of the Maelstrom. Now, what news from the Black Shroud?
That is just creepy AF. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Holy crap.
Please, you need to listen to me.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
I've heard of another settlement that's in trouble. I'll mark it on your map.
Duke, where are you going?
Sorry, honey. I got some ass kicking to do.
Please, you need to listen to me. Man, have you even listened to a thing I've ever said?
Shut the fuck up.
Damn it! My leg! Get away from me! Think I'm got shot! Damn, I'm hit!
Yeah, 8-bit hits.
Oh, wow. Oh.
You are insane. We are worst at it. We will never stop. In the brain, we have special wiring in our minds. And I'm still working through that even post-retirement. I still push and redline myself in workouts for my wife and my friends need to protect me from myself. I still have, let's say, dog, great. But you need to do referee knowledge in each and every situation. It protect the wrestlers from themselves. And protect the wrestlers from themselves. Tony Khan, dancing Tony. We are to protect us from ourselves. Because at 51 going on 52, I did stupid stuff in AEW. I did stupid stuff in WWE. I did stupid stuff in WWE. I did stupid stuff in TNA. And you know what? I came to the curb, every agent yelled at me, screamed at me, and told me, if you want a long career in this business, stop doing that stupid stuff. They used another word, a lot more expletives, well, that might look at it in this video. They told me, and it stuck with me to make me a better worker. And physically, I might not be as gifted as Kenny Omega or John Moxley or any of these guys that seemingly are very tough guys, but by not being a tough guy, I'm still psychology about when to do things, when not to do things, and also to a degree protect my body. And I'm still feeling it at 51, 52 years old, but I thank God every day I am as healthy as I am, and I hope and pray to God that these guys in 50, 51, 52 are not in wheelchairs or, even worse, not with us anymore, because this here is leading up to something very, very dire.
Oh, damn.
So,
Woo.
It was hard to wrap my head around it. It's just bad. But
Iced tea, get bro. See,
yeah, pretty much.
oh, right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Breaks down, never yelled. Never yelled. I've never been yelled at.
So he's like a player dad.
Yeah.
He's almost
He
playing.
was all this. When I was freaking out, when I was younger, he's like, look, Jim. He's really sick. You know, it's like,
Thanks.
yeah.
God damn, Ice, man. Just cool, man. Just cool as shit, bro. Oh, that's dope. Kenshiro versus Yujiro? Oh crap. Come on, Kenshiro, bro. Oh, well. You're out of line thinking that Yujiro can beat Kenshiro, bro.
You're listening to 8-Bit Hits. I'm Duke, your host with the most. If you got a problem with that, come get some.
Alright, I'll stay back to the pod.
Only one of the more talented names on this list of people. Let's go to Top Dollar. Drew, you mentioned Top Dollar.
Sure.
He is somebody that I hopes for coming out of NXT when Triple H was in charge. I felt Hit Row was called up way too soon. I got in some trouble with all of those individuals because I had predicted their demise. Unfortunately, I was right. I didn't want to be right. When they hit the main roster the first time, they took that as a negative and thought I was against them. That's not the case. They got brought back. I was excited again for them because I love seeing people get a second chance. And then all of a sudden, they kind of fell right back into the original spot that they were in, and they weren't used. And they were basically used as enhancement talents. Top Dollar, clearly, I respect what he did, Drew. I know getting into the pro wrestling realm is not the easiest thing to do, especially for a guy that size. But truthfully, from me to you, talking buddy to buddy, I didn't really see a lot of money in Top Dollar. What AJ Francis was bringing to the table, he didn't really round out what WWE is looking for as a pro wrestler. He was slow. He didn't really grasp onto it as quickly as others, and he was very one-dimensional. With that saying, I do agree with you saying that he could potentially do something football-related. Maybe he just throws in the towel for pro wrestling. He did it, he tried it didn't work out, move on to something else. But, at the end of the day, I wish him nothing but the best because, getting in there is fucking difficult to do when he did it.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think AJ Francis will 100% be a great color analyst or college game day, whatever he wants to do. I think he'll make some money on the independent scene as well because as soon as you come off WTV, you're going to make some money. So, I think that's logical for him. But I think his wrestling days, but I don't mind to say, but I do believe that AJ Francis will probably be one of the few who kind of finds their niche and their potential massive revenue gain something outside of the pro wrestling.
And he's talented. He's a musician. He raps. Obviously, he's very talented in that respect. So, I mean,
it is extremely hard. I want everyone who's watching, so they need to cut you off. But it is extremely hard to make the NFL. Not only make a practice squad, but to make an active roster. So for everyone saying AJ Francis is a flop in wrestling ring, okay, great. That does not does not discount anything he's done in his professional career. The man is an athlete, and he'll be just fine.
Well, how many football players came through the system and didn't make it? I mean, the numbers got to be fucking staggering. I mean, not everybody could be Brock Lesnar or, Kurt Angle coming from, the Olympics and doing that thing. Look at Gable Steveson. I mean, he got off to a fucking terrible start. You're not gonna have the next Kurt Angle, the next Brock Lesnar overnight. So,
you know what I like him, truthfully, as a heater, someone's manager. Go over to let him be a manager. He doesn't even get in the ring. He's big. He's a bad mother. You know what? I mean, just let him do that, and let him, be the heater. That's what I would do.
And he can talk. That's the biggest thing he's got going for him. So, he was let go. We don't know anything about Ashante Adonis or B-Fab. So right now they are still together. I don't know what the plan is there. Reportedly, there are more cuts to be made, and NXT cuts, according to Brian Alvarez, will be made by 5 p.m. today. So, I guess we picked a good time to go live because everything kind of has slowed down right now. Top Dollar Mustafa Ali, Emma was another one. Sad tweet she put out, Drew, because she was retweeting about the Australian judge, Justin Nichols, the Elimination Chamber. I actually talked about this on Tuesday. I predicted that it may be Elimination Chamber. That's what it was. She was excited to potentially be a part of that, and then legitimately half an hour after that first tweet, she's like, "Oh, never mind, it just got released." I mean, that's fucking terrible, man. I can't imagine what Emma's going through, and Emma's fiance, Riddick Moss, was also let go as well. So this was a 2-for-1 deal, unfortunately, for WWE. Emma was brought back, man. I thought she did fine work on Impact and wherever else she went after her first initial WWE run. But I mean, they didn't do anything with her. It's like you're looking at the roster, you got fucking old man glasses on, you're looking at things, what's this woman doing? Get rid of her. It's like, what do you expect to happen?
Yeah, I think there's only so many hours in the television show weekly that they have, and realistically, there's guys and girls in their contract right now that haven't seen television yet. So, I mean, I get it, and it's unfortunate that this happens. I think both of them will find homes. I think it is a great fit in AEW. Needs just a little bit more in Women's division. I can see her Impact. I can see her doing a whole bunch of things. The run back WWE just wasn't for me. There's been a lot of talent that just haven't done it for me. Realistically, like I said, say on the positives here, AEW Impact.
Yeah, it's tough. For someone like Emma and most of these names, they were never really given an opportunity to even showcase what they're made of. I mean, Emma, she had a run-in with Ronda Rousey for the match with SmackDown, I remember, and that was basically all I remember from this current run. She got brought back, and the powers that be just sent her out there like no video package, no return vignette or anything, no coming attraction. Emma's coming back to the WWE. I want to be positive, but at the same time, I gotta be honest. These talents never really stood a chance. They were never really given an opportunity to show the audience what they're truly made of. And WWE Creative never backed them from day one. So, they were behind the 8 ball, before they even saw what was coming. Like, it sucks. It's just a terrible situation. Thrive in that type of environment.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Unfortunately, mergers, which some of you may have been and may not have been a part of it in professional career, this stuff happens a bit different. Normally, after a merger, we see the cuts come on what we saw. It's just talent involved in this type of merger because of the entity that it is, World Wrestling Entertainment. Fighting because it's a KO. So there's actual talent with these mergers. So it is unfortunate she was never really given a chance. They're folks here, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to say, how much can we maximize this person's television time? No, this person's getting paid this amount of money. Well, you want to know what? Not really maximizing this. It's kind of a net negative. Unfortunately, we have to make a tough decision today. That's what happened.
Yeah, Emma, Riddick Moss let go, which I was actually surprised by because I know Paul Heyman was very high on Riddick Moss, and a lot of people were high on Riddick Moss. He had a great body. He had a very good look. He was decent in the ring. He just didn't really do much with him. I think the last we saw of him was he was carrying a cross on WWE television on Friday night, and that was basically it. So he was let go. Emma was let go. Boots was let go. I remember seeing Rick Boots when I made my first trip to NXT, and he had this gimmick where he came out. He had the tassels around the arm, and he looked fucking vintage retro 80s, playing air guitar and air drumming on NXT television. I fell in love with him because I'm a big metalhead. And he got transitioned to the main roster. Say again?
Put it at the Ultimate Warrior. He got transitioned to the main roster.
They didn't really know what to do with him. They kind of shed that NXT gimmick, which I loved. This was very character-based. They put him with Nakamura. It didn't really make any sense. He became Nakamura's hype man, playing electric guitar during Nakamura's intro. Then he got hurt. Then they moved him to Raw, and they didn't do anything with him post-draft, and here we are.
He got over.
He did get over, and you know.
He got over with that.
And listen, I love Boots, but Boots is very charismatic. I don't know how they didn't do anything with him, but unfortunately, he was one of the individuals let go today. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, again, somebody who's got a ton of charisma will easily find his way, whether it's acting or another promotion. He will be just fine. You know, and again, I know everyone's like, well, AEW, Ring of Honor, all I see all the predictions. Guys, there are only so many spots to go around, and again, AEW is loaded down.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about like talent, you mean like they're not enough talent, just employees.
Yeah. It's something to maybe, you know, reach for if he wants to continue this path. Work at it, work the indies, do what you gotta do. Your creativity now is completely free reign. You can do whatever you want. Go back and do what WWE didn't allow you to do on the indies. Work to get to that point if you want to be in an AEW. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but right now, Boots, gone. Aaliyah, gone. I mean, to me, like you were talking about net positives and negatives. So this was a complete negative. They didn't really have any plans for her. I know she won the tag team titles with Raquel Rodriguez at one point or another. Again, no loss here for WWE. It's sad that she lost her job, but hopefully she finds her footing somewhere if she wants to continue doing this. Aaliyah let go. Elias let go. A lot of people are actually upset about this.
Well, again, something where it's like, okay, we have this man on contract, and God, we don't have
It's gonna go my way.
at home, he's getting paid, and at the end of the day, he made a tough decision, and that was one of them. I don't think it was extremely tough because he's not made involved in any major storylines. This is another person who, if he wants to, find out what's very cool. He's charismatic and can easily kind of change what he was doing, because I think the Elias character is done realistically. He can do something, I think, very dark.
Yeah.
He can do something. I mean, he's chiseled out of granite. So.
He looks the part. Absolutely looks the part. I loved the Drifter. He was in NXT before they called him up. He was just like some rogue fucking, acoustic guitar player, just doing his own thing. I don't know how they didn't pair Boots and Elias together in some sort of like heavy metal fucking, Drifter like tag team. I mean, to me that would have made a whole bunch of sense, and I think there was even something there where they kind of crossed paths post-draft. I don't know why they didn't really experiment with that. They need tag teams. It made sense to put those two together, but Elias gone. They ran through the gauntlet with him. They didn't really have any creativity. He continued to do the same thing over and over again with television. Yeah, he plays television, somebody comes out to interrupt them, and then that's basically Elias' character.
If you think about some things that the man accomplished in his career, to Cena Taker, at WrestleMania and then the Raw, or after SummerSlam, was it Mania, the Raw after Mania? Maybe I don't know what it was.
I think it was that, yeah.
Yeah, he interrupted, maybe it was for Saudi, I don't know. But Taker interrupted him. Elias had some big moments in WWE, and both of them, Elias and Leah, had not wrestled in, I think it's played 6 to 8 months. Realistically, I mean, Elias might have been on something on Raw maybe 4 or 5 months ago, but he hasn't been a part of WWE, and Leah hasn't wrestled a match in a very long time.
Yeah, guys, I see you in the chat. Yes, and they still have Nia Jax. Yes, I know. All these people got fired. We added Nia Jax.
Well, here's the thing. Again, it's the I will say that with WWE, when they released the SmackDown news, I was like, really not finished today, and then the cuts came, and I was like, okay. But I think this had to happen before Friday. She had a show to run on Friday that made WWE, so they wanted both of this to kind of hit now, and it's just unfortunate timing. They wanted the SmackDown news to hit first, obviously good news, then bad news, but they want to be able to say something on SmackDown. Okay, next year we want SmackDown to be on saying it, so it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Shelton Benjamin, another one, unfortunate. He's gone. I know he's up there in age. He's nearing 50. He still looks fucking great for his age. I know a lot of people were hurt about the Hurt Business not really being together and being disbanded by Vince McMahon. Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, he's another name that I worry about. He may, again, find his way out of WWE at some point if this is the trend that we're going in. But Shelton Benjamin, Drew, I feel like they really missed the boat on his return. They did nothing with him. I thought he was a great fit with Bobby Lashley and Cedric Alexander. And to not keep someone like this is what I don't really understand. To not keep someone like this around who is very knowledgeable and unbelievable at what he does, to work with the younger talent, I find that to be a miss. How do you feel about Shelton Benjamin being let go and not being used in other aspects that better the company?
I would say that Shelton Benjamin, if I'm making a prediction here, I think Shelton Benjamin has been one of the most insanely gifted talents that WWE has ever had. That's not a prediction. And I will also say that the Hurt Business was one of my favorite factions. I thought it really helped both Shelton, Bobby, and Cedric, especially Bobby. Really did not show his character on the journey. He wasn't really talking much. As I was in the building, people were jacking from all that very good impact club. Wasn't, and it started to find. Shelton, I think, prediction-wise, I think he needs to do the impact for a little bit and become a performance. He's got so much talent, so much to give to the business. Also, Shelton would fit what Mox, Claudio, and some other guys got over there in AEW. So it really depends on what they want to do with Blackpool Combat Club, but I can see that one. And I can see him going back to Impact for a little bit. I know he had a small run there. Honestly, if I'm betting money, I would say that Shelton ends up at PC 6 to 9 months.
I like that Combat Club, correlation there. I think he would fit perfect.
He doesn't have to talk much. That's the thing. Wherever he goes, he doesn't need to talk. He just needs to listen.
Yeah. Shelton Benjamin let go. That was towards the very end of what was the bloodbath on WWE releases, and the biggest thing that WWE released today, and one that I'm actually quite surprised by because he gave more than 15 years of service to WWE, and now gone. Dolph Ziggler gone from WWE, and I know a lot of people are disappointed in this. I think a lot of people are really jumping the gun here. I mean, Dolph Ziggler was great. Dolph Ziggler is a fucking fantastic pro wrestler. If you talk about, top of the top pro wrestling WWE, Dolph Ziggler is probably up there when you want to talk about the best that WWE pulled. No doubt about it. He's going to land on his feet. If he still wants to wrestle, I know he's got his comedy thing, and, I can see him getting into acting as well if he didn't want to pro wrestle anymore. But if he's going to remain in pro wrestling, Dolph Ziggler is going to find a job very, very quickly after his non-compete is up. Where he goes, I don't know. Indies, he can do it, and I said it then when he re-signed 5 years ago, that Dolph Ziggler should probably go out on his own and just become what Matt Cardona is now, because I could see him breaking out big time and being such a bigger name than he was in WWE. Drew, I said this on Twitter, he is a perfect fit for Tony. I don't give a shit who you bring in. That's the guy you got to look at.
100%. It's really going to be up to Dolph. I think Dolph wanted this more than WWE wanted it. I think this is something for Dolph. It's kind of like, hey, if you're not using me, it's going to help me having your client. He's been there since what? Looking around my office, all the WrestleManias that worked. Not as a talent. Let's get that before we start playing with people. So that. I want to say he's been with WWE for a long time. 28, WrestleMania 28. Yeah, 27. We're headed to 40. So, he's been a mainstay in WWE for a long time. I was in the building when he won his first World Heavyweight Championship. I think his only World Heavyweight Championship. Great moment. Crowd went nuts for him.
What Ruthless is basically saying is Dolph Ziggler's the first ballot on thing.
100%. No doubt about it. And I think WWE would be a great fit for him. But again, I think it's some of these guys are going to end up in Hollywood. I think Boots might end up on television.
I could see it.
So, Ziggler wants to wrestle, sure. His brother's over there, right?
Yeah, his brother is over there. I've seen a lot of people fantasy booking already a potential tag team with his brother. I don't know what the future holds for Dolph Ziggler, but like I said, his in-ring style would be perfect for Tony Khan. No matter what you want him to do, he wants to work the indies, he can do it. I can honestly see him just shedding that WWE shell and just being who he wants it to be. And putting on banger man. Dolph Ziggler's the type of guy that can go to Japan and fucking give you a 5-star match with Okada. That's the type of guy he is. I mean, if that's what he wants, he's gonna do.
I would love to see, truthfully, I'd love to see Ziggler sign with AEW Ring of Honor and become the Ring of Honor World Champion and, then jump to AEW's programming maybe like 6 months from now, 7 months from now, and get into whatever he wants to get into. Because Ring of Honor, and I love what they did with Kingston, but I think Ring of Honor needs some more like main event heavy players in their heavyweight division.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see him fitting on Ring of Honor, though I won't put him there personally. I think Tony Khan as well, looking at Dolph Ziggler not only for his in-ring work, he is a veteran of the game. He needs more people like that in the locker room, more people for that locker room to look up to, potentially. The knowledge that comes with Dolph Ziggler is tremendous. You need someone that is absolutely prime time ready for TV. He knows it all. Get him on the programming. I think that's a win-win situation for both Dolph Ziggler and Tony Khan if he wants to explore that. And I'm not surprised to see it. I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. I wish it would happen sooner because I feel like Dolph Ziggler on this name is the most talented of all of them. But that rounds out the list of names so far. There may be more. We will keep you guys posted as long as we are alive, and if there is any more names, I will actually update you later today, video-wise. True, they said NXT is not going to be immune to this. NXT releases are expected later this evening, says Brian Alvarez, around 5 p.m. Eastern. And apparently, that is going to be later today. So we have more coming. Now, my thing with the NXT talent is, and I mentioned this on Tuesday, you know, they are going back and holding tryouts for independent talent to come on in to the Performance Center. You know, this was the way Triple H built NXT through the Indies. They moved away from that for the NIL program, and they wanted to build from within, take people that didn't have any wrestling experience, and pretty much WWE wanted to mold them in their own image. And it's something that I feel like they haven't received the return on their investment for. Now, they are about to cut people. Is it going to be those NIL kids getting cut who are not making it out in the Performance Center? Is it going to be a mixture of NIL and people that they've actually put on TV that they don't find any value in? What do you make of this? Because in the summer of 2001, it was all the older indie guys that were cut from NXT. How is this going to transition now to this current NXT?
Well, unfortunately, you're going to get a corporate answer from me. I know I looked the part today because I'm retired. I am not going to comment on what I believe should, will, or can be cut. I think what they're going to do is they're going to sit down like they have been doing, and they're going to see who is getting paid and what they're returning, just like any business. And I think they'll make unfortunate decisions. Do I think you're going to see big names be cut from NXT? I don't, because I think some of the guys and girls from NXT are headed to Raw or SmackDown. They're going to need to rejuvenate that pool, for lack of a better term. So I think, yeah, if you gun to my head, I think it would be maybe some of the NIL people, but they're not really getting paid a good amount of money besides a couple. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the names here, I'll make one prediction, and I don't like to do this because it's somebody's livelihood. I would think that he was least in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that, sure. It's going to be interesting because I know NXT right now is packaged with Raw. SmackDown went to USA Network. We'll touch on that in a little bit. Raw and NXT right now still in negotiations. You would think that they want to keep a nice-looking nucleus of current stars that they have on TV right now, with potential breakout stars that are about to make their way to television to really bolster NXT so that it looks like an attractive offer for NBCU or whoever's going to buy.
And that's your best point.
NXT.
That's your best point right there. The NXT cuts, Raw and SmackDown are established home-run television players. Okay, the NXT stuff, WWE can ill afford to start cutting the likes of like a Braun Breaker or something like that, or a mainstay Carmelo Hayes. That's not going to happen. First of all, AEW and everybody else would be salivating at that because those are two extremely talented individuals, but they can't do it because they need to sell that product to whatever network they're trying to sell it to. So expect some lesser known names to be released for the next division.
Yeah, I will keep you guys updated personally when those names come out. I'll have a video as soon as that news breaks myself later today. Drew, this is coming from Fightful Select. Apparently, there was some frustration amongst the locker room in WWE when WWE announced the $1.4 billion SmackDown deal for them to be moved off of Fox back to NBCU for SmackDown. One top star said that most of the list barely had a chance, and I just said this literally, barely had a chance considering they weren't booked and pulled in a circle that could not be escaped. Another brought up that the company released it just after the Elimination Chamber show announcement in her home country after she had just tweeted her excitement for it. The line of thinking from many on the roster is that WWE aligned these cuts with the announcement of the Elimination Chamber and SmackDown rights fees deal in order to minimize the negative impact on the company. TKO stock dropped from $96.23 to $88.95 by 10:10 Eastern time this morning after the SmackDown announcement. The stock now sits at $86.94 as of 12:30 of the news, of the releases obviously being broken here in the community. What do you make of that? I mean, the locker room obviously has a point there, but what do you make of the news as far as the announcement for SmackDown and the stock drop?
Breaking news. Stocks will rise and fall. I sold majority of my shares of WWE before the merger happened because it's just it's volatile. You never know what happens, okay? And we all knew that the bad press was going to be the releases and everything else like that. Yes, this is typical corporate MO. Can we bury this news with other positive news? I think the boys and girls need to understand that although I'm not in that locker room, they know exactly what WWE and TKO and Endeavor is doing, so this shouldn't come as a surprise to you. This is typical. It's let's bury this news, and not to mention, AEW just had one of their biggest dynamites, right, of the year. France that was one of the biggest dynamites. Ain't nobody talking about that.
No, nobody's talking about that at all, sadly. WWE sources that Michael spoke to said that the mask cuts were not discussed with Triple H. So there you go. And this is in direct correlation to the merger. So Triple H obviously has no say in any of this whatsoever. So for those thinking that, he brought these talents back and then now they'll let go, he has no say in anything. Several talent that we spoke to, they say, even had thoughts of the days of mass cuts being behind them, and that they thought deals would simply be allowed to expire instead of letting everybody go. That had appeared to be the method as of late, and Fightful said they would keep us updated as well.
I respect that. Me and Sean are fortunate. We're good friends. I wouldn't say we're like best friends. We're friends. And I don't know if that was him who reported that. But and Jimmy is very, very smart business-wise, and so is Sean. That's Jimmy Man. I don't see how that made news, because realistically, what Endeavor and TKO and UFC are doing, they're inheriting. Endeavor is inheriting all of these contracts before that merger happened. A lot of these guys and girls were signed way before the merger, so they're gonna have some saying hey, what are we paying? How much are we paying her? Is we paying her? Is she on TV? She's not. That's just the unfortunate part of the merger. So for them to say that they just think that the contracts are going to be left to expire, I think it's asinine.
If I'm Endeavor, honestly, what am I doing? I'm doing the same thing that they did today. Business. But as far as that mentality, I don't know why the locker room would be thinking that, there's a budget behind us. I mean, even on the whole fucking podcasters saw this day coming. How didn't they see it? Everybody knew this was coming.
Yeah, well, we talked about it 2 weeks ago. I think we said that, I truly believe that the roster cuts will be coming. I just don't know exactly when. This is a little sooner than I think we all had anticipated. But at the end of the day, WWE is bringing in new talent. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
They're bringing in, Jade Carter. Maybe some others. Maybe just maybe CM Punk's up. Who knows? I don't know. But they need money, which they have tons of. They need money to do that.
Yes, you see the whole circle of what WWE is doing here. Jade Cargill's coming in, Punk potentially coming in, with the names coming on in now that they're with TKO or Endeavor, merging WWE and UFC. They're going to replenish the NXT brand with independent talent that are somewhat, seasoned. They're going to learn the WWE way. And those talents that are on NXT right now, like Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, Tiffany Stratton, you're going to get replenished by all these terminations today. You're going to replenish on the main roster with established names that WWE has put money, time, and effort into. So, at the end of the day, television may be better and more bountiful, when we get to Monday and Friday.
Right, and here's the deal. Within the last 24 hours, WWE has terminated its partnership with Panini. That's a trading card company. Announced the Chamber, which we talked about. Announced SmackDown. So, Yeah, they're trying to bury things, but I think what they're doing is, I think this is one of the first major meetings and major powwows that board of directors of TKO is having, and they're figuring out everything that they need to do to make their books look better. And that's the unfortunate side of business. AEW is not publicly traded. You're never going to hear about this until they become publicly traded. And they will. I do believe eventually.
Keeping with the contract news and who's staying and who's going, there is news from Fightful Select as well that Sheamus has a contract set to expire in a few months. There aren't many details available, says Sapp, except that it is believed that his deal expires in the early part of 2024, not confirmed though. Keep in mind that WWE extends deals because of injuries, but it's not confirmed if his deal was extended. If Sheamus was injured or had time off, they usually tack on that time that he missed to his contract, so it could be longer than what is being reported here. Sheamus signed the developmental deal with WWE 2006. He's been used as basically a very steady hand on the main roster. Obviously, he had his deal with Gunther and Drew McIntyre, which was one of the best matches the entire year. And for those wondering, that if he does become a free agent, it is possible that he could sign with AEW or anywhere. Yes, friends over there, obviously, one of his best friends, Edge, may end up over there. And that's been making the rounds as far as rumors go with AEW and Adam Copeland. Becky Lynch as well, Drew. She has a contract up next year. I believe Montez Ford has a contract up next year, and Drew McIntyre has a contract up next year. Now, before I get your take on this, I want to really kind of hone in on the Sheamus thing. I don't see Becky going anywhere. I mean, her husband is over in WWE. She's not going anywhere. I think WWE is going to offer her the fucking the bank to keep her. But like Sheamus, that to me is a telling sign. If they don't bring someone like Sheamus back and they don't want to pay Sheamus, what does that mean for the rest of the locker team that is of that type of veteran status and of that age? I mean, should they start thinking, hey, maybe I should start looking elsewhere if they're not bringing Sheamus back, who's basically been here his entire life?
Yeah, the Sheamus stuff will be interesting. I'll say this, I had a conversation with Sheamus, I want to say like 6 to 7 years ago. His contract was coming up. He was in the big star. It was like the best of 7 or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's what led to the bar.
Right. And I had said to him, because there was rumors about that, I had said, hey man, stay with WWE. Just my opinion. He said, I'm not doing this for and that was 7 years ago, and there really wasn't viable competition. I think Sheamus would be I think it would be beneficial. It would benefit him to head on over to AEW if they didn't have him. He's done so much. It's kind of the same thing with Adam Cole. How much more can this man accomplish in WWE? Sheamus would be a great heel in WWE, but it just doesn't seem like they want to go that route. I mean, they gave him some pushes here and there. He had Edge's last match, but realistically, out of the three you named, the only one that made sense to me is Sheamus. I think Drew's back, and so is Becky. No questions asked.
Yeah, I think he would be a perfect fit as well for AEW. I know that he has recently, as of a couple of months ago, complained and really made some statements about WWE dropping the ball on him, dropping the ball on Brawl Roots, and you can see it on television that it wasn't the same following the Survivor Series. I mean, he got his WrestleMania match with Gunther. Everybody thought he was going to win his Intercontinental title, the only title he hasn't won in the company. And he's complained about how WWE dropped the ball creatively. I wonder how frustrating that is for him. And again, I was thinking about this when I was reading the story yesterday. Like, someone like that, they don't bring back. What does that kind of tell the rest of the locker team that is of that age? It's going to be very interesting to see. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Becky's going to AEW when her contract's up. I'm not sure. WWE's never going to let Becky go, ever. So, that's the news as far as that is concerned. With those expiring contracts, the releases, there is more still to come, obviously, today. Like I mentioned, Brian Alvarez and the NXT releases and cuts. Keep you updated on that. Let's get into the other big thing today, Drew. SmackDown returning to the USA Network as part of a new agreement with terms of the deal weren't disclosed. However, Wall Street Journal reports that people familiar with the pact valued it at roughly $1.4 billion, which is about a 40% increase over the deal with WWE and the deal that they had with Fox. Now, I was actually surprised by this because, you know, actually I wasn't really surprised by this because I kind of felt when they fired Ryan Satin that things were kind of going a different way, and everybody made a big deal about them canceling the Out of Character podcast. And the correlation situation there. It was like WWE's gonna, be without Fox. Where are they gonna go? ESPN, is it gonna be Disney? Blah blah blah. I kind of felt Nick Khan wanted everything under the same umbrella. Now we may be looking at WWE under the same umbrella, but with their true partners here. If how long they've been partners, NBC Universal.
Well, here's the deal. NBCU is the exclusive streaming partner for the WWE Network, Peacock, all their PLEs, everything else like that. And I don't think that expires for another 2 years. So you get WrestleMania 40 and the WrestleMania 41, I believe, on Peacock with the merger. I do believe that, the reports out here, the evaluation is high, and I think it is high because WWE SmackDown was just on network television. It's on Fox. So I think Nick Khan was smart to move this entity for the price that he did, and WWE did. What I will say is that I think it's interesting that SmackDown was announced first instead of Raw. I know Raw's not on the list. Yeah, well, Raw is currently on USA. So my thought pattern here is I'm trying to read between the tea leaves and read everything else that's going on. It seems to me like we didn't get a fiscal announcement of how much it was. I mean, the rumors out there are 1.4. That's what it's believed to be sold at. I truly believe that what NBC is doing is they're trying to acquire all of WWE's television programming rights, Raw, NXT, SmackDown. That will give them essentially, if it's 3-3 or 3-2 and 2,
Okay.
they're doing 7 hours of television weekly, WWE on NBC programming, plus the 4 Saturday night main events that you're going to get. So if they end up losing, because I do believe that's happening, if they end up losing the big 4 pay-per-views, and maybe they lose the PLEs entirely to ESPN Plus or whatever. This is their way of saying, okay, we lost that, man, we have all of this, and realistically, that's where we're at. I do believe that Raw, NXT, SmackDown will all be under the NBCU. I do believe that.
Well, the report does note that it's possible Raw moves away from Monday nights, which I think would be fucking ridiculous. I think that's a terrible move. Which would obviously be a major shift, as the series has been a staple on Mondays since January 1990.
The Golden Saucer!
Some kind of partnership with NBCU since 2028. It's not yet certain that their catalog will remain available and will be streaming at Peacock for the long haul. Like you mentioned, I believe that deal's up in 2025. Who knows where Nick Khan's going to take the WWE content? It could be, like you said, ESPN Plus or whatever the case may be. Disney, we don't know. Streaming deal between WWE and NBCU lasts until at least 2026. Now, going back to Monday Night Raw, I would not want them to move Monday Night Raw off of Monday. I think that needs to be, that's a tradition that needs to be there as long as WWE is around. And number 2, why do you think, because the report said that it's possible that WWE does not land with Raw on NBCU, that there are other suitors, not people that are blatantly out there in the open to buy, like a Disney. There are a lot of people lining up to buy Monday Night Raw, potentially, from other outlets. Do you see them not putting Raw on USA Network or NBCU, potentially being paid for Raw and then moving it back to 2 hours? Because I think that's a huge selling point right there, moving the show back to 2 hours.
I don't think, truthfully, that Raw will be moved to 2 hours. I think there's always a possibility. If it remains on NBCU, I think they might, if NBCU decides to buy the streaming rights for that, I could see them maybe making Raw 2 hours. There was a rumor that SmackDown, if NBC loses Raw, maybe SmackDown becomes 3 hours, which I think the perfect wrestling time is 2 hours, but if you're going to pay $1.4 billion, kind of get to call the shots. So, I think, again, I'm going to stick with what I'm saying. I think what you're seeing here is SmackDown is announced. This basically, Raw and SmackDown, alright, I'm just going to say it. Because I really wanted to dance around this, but I don't think I can, and I don't like to do that on the show. I think what WWE is doing is smart. I think what they're doing is NBCU gave WWE $1.4 billion to SmackDown. I think this is them giving a power play to, hey, we ponied up all this money for SmackDown, we want Raw as well, point the time cap. Announce the SmackDown deal, do not give fiscals, We'll pay you more for SmackDown, we'll pay you a little bit less for Raw, and we'll give you a good deal on NXT, and all three of them are going to be fine. It just screams that to me. Could Amazon be a part of it? Sure. Could Disney? Sure. There's always going to be suitors. If you know the people banging down the door for SmackDown, you're fucking crazy. Because The Rock was just on it. WWE is extremely timely with everything they do. And again, I like to come on here and I like to give you guys no bullshit. There's 3,000 of us watching right now, 2,000 people watching right now. I appreciate it. It's all the shoot straight with you. I think this is NBCU's first bullet, and they are going to announce the other two shortly. And I think all three programming media rights will be on NBCU, because you don't announce this unless you plan on back. That's just
my question is to you, because I find it to be very weird. You know, I thought Fox and the WWE partnership was going very well. I mean, the numbers obviously prove that SmackDown was doing very well, especially in the later months on Fox 5 here in New York City. And, I mean, it was trending 2.5, 2.6, I mean, sometimes 2.7 when Roman Reigns in the height of that bloodline storyline. Why didn't Fox make that much of a play? Why didn't Fox want a match, or at least better, maybe $1.5 billion for WWE? Why did they just say, you know what, get it?
Again, great question, right? And that's why I was, when I started to talk, I was like, should I dance around this or should I just say it? That's exactly the point. JD, you asked a great question. Why Fox wasn't like, hey, we'll match. Let me give you 1.6, let me give you 1.7, and then WWE go back to ECU. I mean, what they did was they essentially, quote unquote, paid the value that Nick Khan valued SmackDown. Now, we don't know what it is. It could be, you know, Nick Khan is an agent. So then he could be taking the professional athlete contract negotiation. Hey, listen, we want to announce this. We'll pay you 1.7 for SmackDown. We're going to pay you 1.1 for Raw, which is an extreme undervaluation of it. But that comes out to 2.8 billion, and then we'll give you another, I don't know, 600,000, which is an extreme overestimation for NXT. And what they're going to do is they're going to combine all this deal, and one is going to look extremely bloated, but they get all three media rights, and that's what this is. Again, it's the first domino to fall. The others are coming. The others are coming because SmackDown was kind of the it really was. Everything major happens on SmackDown, and they now are headed to NBCU. Raw is going to go, and so is WWE NXT. It's going to be a package deal. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a $4 billion announcement, and all three of them are under that umbrella, which is a lot of money. They can. Well, rumors, 1.4 billion that has been rumored. At the end of it, it could look 2 billion for SmackDown, 1 billion for Raw, and 1 billion for NXT, which would be insane. But they're gonna do this however they need to do it. But at the end of the day, what WWE is gonna do is they're gonna make money. And this again is the first domino, and it's SmackDown. It's not Raw. If Raw was announced first, I'd say SmackDown might be finding a new home, and it's probably not NBC first. It's the opposite.
Man, I'm listening to you talk. You make a lot of sense, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, man, it's crazy to think WWE brought Nick Khan in when they did, and he is probably facilitating all these deals. And you know, I make fun of he's con man, he's this and that, but man, he's got to be one of the most ruthless fucking people that you could possibly sit down and talk to. Man, it's almost like he made out like gangbusters here. Because now I'm thinking, the WWE hold strings and they are the puppet master here because, you know, they were on Fox, now they're with NBC, roughly 1.4, that's the rumored number, billion, to move SmackDown to NBCU. And then, you know, we don't know where Raw and NXT are going to be. They could end up on NBCU as well for the next 4 or 5 years. But I'm thinking, WWE's content's not going to remain on Peacock past 2026. So the WWE just kind of play the whole fucking game and play everybody here by, hey, we got Raw and SmackDown, our new home, for 5 more years, and we're gonna move the fucking shit off Peacock, and then we're gonna go to ESPN Plus, and we're gonna charge you $7 for all big 5 pay-per-views per year. It's like, did they play the fucking system and take everybody for a fucking sucker?
Again, I think,
because I feel that the NBC, WWE stuff, you know. It's the whole WWE. Yeah, goodbye Peacock come 2026, because I don't think they're going to be there.
Well, they're still going to have SmackDown, Raw, and NXT on, and the streaming, the PLEs, the WrestleManias on NBC's umbrella, the Peacock stuff, through 2025, 2026. So again, they'll get a couple of years of that. And I think what NBCU is gearing up for is they are trying to acquire all of the TV media rights, including the streaming deal as well. That probably won't happen. So what NBCU is doing is they're saying, all right, let me get Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. And if you got to take the PLEs and go to ESPN Plus and everything else, you know what? Fine. What they're doing is they're reinvesting all their gains from Peacock, from the subscribers, from everything else, and they're doubling in, they're reinvesting in WWE programming. It's brilliant, truthfully. And if they, for some reason, can package it all together, good for them. I just don't see that happening. Nick Khan has basically taken the WWE's media, streaming right deals and made it the most equitable thing he could, and it's also the most viable. So he's going to listen to everybody. He's going to take the best deal he possibly can, and I do believe that the deal is everything else will be off Peacock. This deal so
people are making a big deal about the ratings and potential ratings dip from moving from Fox to USA Network because it's in less households and it's on cable instead of being on network television. Do you find that to be a big deal? Is WWE concerned about that, or should they be concerned about that?
Well, the SmackDown deal includes 4 NBC. It's going to be on NBC. 4 Saturday night main events on NBC, which was huge. That was one of the biggest negotiating points from what I heard. That WWE wanted. I still want to be on network television. Well, we can give you both. We'll give you 4, and we'll give you 6. You can give you 8. And I mean, you're talking about a 56-week. It's 52 weeks in a year. And you add those other 4 because you're going to get that additional programming. It's 56. But, what WWE has now done is they solidified themselves being still on national television. It's not 52 weeks a year like it would be on Fox, but a couple of those are on FS1, so we'll just round it to 50. But it's still something that Nick and Vince and the Endeavor team wanted to remain on network television, and they're doing it. And
yeah, it's another bullet in the chamber for WWE to take WBS. I know we could be with the main event now on Saturday nights. It's lit.
Right. That part, there's 4 of them. And there's also this. If for some reason this writer strike, is just continuous, and which I don't think it will, you might get simulcast. Look what ESPN is doing. ESPN's airing Monday Night Football on ABC. It's a completely different game. And there's one on ESPN now later. So just be aware of that too. I mean, you could see maybe a Monday Night Raw on NBC short.
Is this something, now I'm thinking about the Saturday Night main event. I know WWE shifted their pay-per-view model to Saturdays and off Sundays. Is this meaning that the pay-per-view model is going to go back to Sunday now with all these different shows potentially happening on a Saturday on NBC?
You know what, that I don't know. I think they really enjoyed these Saturdays. It gives people to travel. They don't have to worry about hustling out in the building. They don't have to do all that stuff. They've also seen massive revenue gains from the Saturday shows. Obviously, there's more competition, but they've enjoyed it and they've seen gains from it. So what I could see is them hosting 4 special Saturday main events, maybe one from MSG, maybe one from the Staples Center, that type of stuff, whatever the hell it's called, Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, that type of stuff. And I think it could be maybe like the first of the month where they use it as a build towards their PLEs. I don't think this is going to coincide with the
A lot of stuff, man. It's all just crazy today with the news. That's the WWE side of things.
Hold on a second. There's a big rumor here, JD, that I don't know if you've seen or not.
It may be the thing I just saw.
The SEC filing against the Vince McMahon may leave WWE. This is accurate. I can say that when the SEC reports that, it seems like after the merger, McMahon holds 28.84 million TKO shares, which is valued currently at the market at $3 billion. It seems as if McMahon is putting all of the shares up for sale. Now, this is common in some spaces. Vince is obviously trying to find somebody to buy all of his shares. If not all of them, then some of them. But he might have it where it's all or nothing. So if somebody wants to pony up $3 billion, then he can sell all of them, then he takes it. I don't see this being the case, but it is interesting and interesting timing that Vince would take his $3 billion. He still would be on the board. They're going to keep it there, in my opinion.
To do what? If he's selling all the shares, fuck it. Who cares?
I think he would just be like a consultant. I don't think he's going. So maybe not on the board. I'll run that back, but he'll be a consultant. But if he sells all of the shares, then he just buys it.
I mean, the Axios report, all I see here that I really am concerned with, Vince McMahon may leave WWE, that's all I care about. I don't give a shit how fucking billions he has in stock. I mean, who cares? Goodbye.
Yeah, if that's what's gonna happen, then that's what's gonna happen.
Well, it makes you wonder why Ari Emanuel brought him in, knowing that his back catalog of crimes was gonna eventually come back to haunt him. You know?
Yeah.
You know, we don't have to talk about Vince McMahon. I can't wait for him to be done. I mean, can you blame me? I'm a fan.
Well, this is interesting. And it seems like breaking news. You have to break news. TKO itself says in a regulatory filing, Vince McMahon's membership on our board could expose us to negative publicity and or have adverse financial and operational impacts on our business. His membership may also result in additional scrutiny or otherwise exacerbate the other risks described. Any of these outcomes could directly or indirectly have adverse financial and operational impacts on our business. That is huge. That is something this is something you guys should follow, because the other stuff is putting his shells and sales on your chair. Whatever.
It was never about a sale of the company, man. Vince fucking sucks body. Exactly. It's all you can do.
I mean, invincible. I mean, everyone thinks they're invincible, and Vince was both man's Teflon. It seems. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
I mean, that's late breaking news there. I love hearing that. We'll keep a close eye on that.
Timing's interesting. Has Vince been screwed by Ari?
I mean, I don't know, man. This world, man, this bro, shit happening every day, man. I wouldn't put it past Ari, man. I mean,
that's what I'm saying, though. If you think about that for a second, all this stuff comes out after this merger happens, like a week, 2 weeks after. I mean, this news, they probably had it. They just sat on it.
Yeah, man, me and Ari gonna be big man, Ari, man. We'll keep you guys updated on that. I do want to shift before I know Drew's got to get back to work in a little bit. I do want to get his thoughts on Grand Slam. There is news coming out of Grand Slam. A couple of different things. First of all, there was news that broke during Grand Slam that AEW would actually have another pay-per-view on December 29th of 2023. What do you make of this? Because I know that Vince is now streaming sports, and Bleacher Report via Max is now going to be a $9.99 additional charge. Are they gearing up or a little earlier than anticipated for AEW to be on there with this potential December pay-per-view? Because I feel like they need to if they want to get this ball rolling, because it's going to be very difficult to sell with all in, all out, full gear, wrestling stream, and then this woman has a lot of $50 fucking price tags when we were paying 4 times a year. Now we're going to be paying 5 times in the last 4 months.
I think the perfect time to introduce whatever they're going to introduce regarding AEW and streaming and everything else like that is that December time frame. Everyone's kind of home for the holidays. People gather around, so people, stay home from work from December 23rd until realistically January 3rd and 4th, days after New Year's. So I 100% that. Yeah, I think that'll be the launch, and it's a smart move for them.
Well, I hope so, man. I really need that.
We talked about it on Tuesday. I know Drew said that there could be a potential where AEW, kind of waters down their product, and pay-per-view water down everything that they do on TV. I feel like Tony Khan, if he's going to have a little bit more of a consolidated television schedule now and leading into a pay-per-view every month, that it actually may get him on board with actually telling longer stories and getting more involved with storytelling, because I feel like he gets lazy when there's so much time in between pay-per-views. So it's going to be a very interesting thing to monitor as well. Grand Slam, I thought it was probably the best Dynamite of the summer. I thought it was a tremendous show from top to bottom last night, minus a botch here and there. Fucking injury scares. It seems like AEW wants to drop everybody on their goddamn head. Adam Cole, we'll talk about him in a second. John Moxley suffered a concussion, a mild concussion, says Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Live. The match outcome was supposed to be Moxley. Phoenix was not supposed to win the championship, and apparently Rick Knox, referee, botched the ending of the match. What'd you think of that entire situation?
It was hard to watch. I feel for everyone talking about scrutiny in that match and everything else like that. Obviously, I didn't think that John was supposed to lose that match. It was hard to watch him having Johnson okay. Just suffered a mild concussion. Yeah, it's hard to watch. And, you know, I think the right call was made because realistically, they don't know if John's incapacitated and if he's paralyzed. So, yeah. He can't kick out, it seemed like. Or maybe he said count to 3. And I talked to Tony, but I mean, I don't know what it was. Yeah, an audible was made, and that's it. I mean, because realistically, if John can't go and can't kick out, there's only one decision to be made.
Yeah, it's a tough spot, and Jess and I talked about it on last night's stream. You know, what does Rick want to do with basically how many seconds did he have to make the fucking range decision? It's like he count to 3 and mess up the creative plans that were supposed to be, or do you just do your job and say, you know what, Mox is supposed to win this thing, I'm not going to count 3. He was just doing his job, and I think he got reamed out for it, but this is a little time to react, so, you know, I'm sure everything will come back around and we'll fix that, but it reminded me of the Owen Austin shit. The same type of pile driver, I mean, just an awful looking spot. I don't know why we're doing so many pile drivers. I don't know, MJF got dropped on his fucking neck on the apron by Joe. Cole, man, oh man, I got flashbacks to CM Punk jumping into the goddamn crowd, man. What a waste of a fucking spot that was. I seen him limping, I'm like, yeah, he's injured. Did you see that spot last night?
I did. Just, again, unfortunate. Again, the Austin and Owen thing, right? When you go back and watch that, I mean, that was one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time. And you mean the role was horse shit. Austin said it. And realistically, did you want anything like that with Mox? No. So I think Mox, you know, did the right thing about the business. And the MJF had a pole thing, yeah, it was unfortunate. After we're getting into trying out the barricade, getting in the ring. Just it was bad. That part sucked. But again, Grand Slam. I think they need to stop running Grand Slams at Dynamite. They did
They may actually be that way. Adam Cole was brought to the hospital. He was on crutches. We don't know the diagnosis of his injury. Obviously, it could factor into plans now. Spoiler alert, I'll give you guys a second or two to mute the chat because there was spoilers coming out of the Rampage, and I want to discuss this with Drew right now because I know he's been very adamant about when and where and how MJF defends that championship. MJF's not defending that title, world title at WrestleMania. There is a tag team title match for the Ring of Honor tag team titles, and supposedly Cole and MJF will be defending against the Righteous at WrestleMania. I mean, is that a waste of a match for both Adam Cole and MJF, or do you sit in the camp where Jesse and I will and deem that it's okay because we don't want another 2 weeks of MJF build towards a nothing title match when it's not going to really be that substantial?
Okay, so that's good. I don't mind that. What that bothers me, is that there is a tailor-fitted tag team title match for Wrestle Dream that they're not doing. It's ridiculous. Like,
and the fucked up thing is, man, the team that you're alluding to was in the match last night that the Righteous made.
Right, and here's another thing. Okay, so if that's not gonna happen, cool. Give me the Hardys. Give me the Hardys. Matt and Jeff are both main eventers. You can give me the Hardys. We know they're not gonna win, but it would still be cool. MJF and Adam Cole going against one of their favorite Texans when they were growing up. Blah 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 blah. The Righteous. Like, you might as well just get the match in the ring, have MJF do the double clothesline with that and walk out the 1, 2, 3, get the fuck up. Yeah, again, I understand MJF doesn't need to defend the title. He just did on Grand Slam. It's just, again, kind of ass back, it's convoluted, ass back with booking. I get it. So, we'll have a tag team title match, but you know what we're going to get it? Righteous.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Is MJF hurt?
No, I mean, I'm sure he's banged up. I don't think he's 100%. He's wrestling more now than he did in the beginning of the year, but
no one's 100%. I asked, does he have a legitimate injury? Because it seems like AEW and WWE have the exact same storylines running neck and neck.
No, I think MJF's professional. He went on every outlet on TV here in New York and was selling the naked. So I think he was injured, but he's not really hurt, but he's banged up.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I've never been a huge fan of Ring of Honor being in AEW, but I know what they're trying to do. I think they should 100% be separate, but you have to build that entity up, so they put it on AEW's television program because I don't know if you know that Ring of Honor is, I think, on YouTube. So
I don't even think that they're on fucking app.
Even worse. And what I'm saying there is that I get it. I just don't like it. It's not for me. It doesn't mean it's wrong, right or wrong. But I get it. That match is so tailor-fitted. The tag team title match out of Cole and MJF taking on Taven and what's his nuts. I don't know. It's just.
You want to know my thoughts on this before we get into the super chats? You know, Tony Khan thinks the fucking Ring of Honor brand that he bought is like everybody wants to see. Bro, it sucks. It sucks. You know, he thinks it's more than what it used to be. It's never going to be what it used to be. Keep it separate from what you're doing because you're just mudding up everything you're doing with AEW. And it's overwhelming for fans to watch all this shit. Like, I watched Collision on Saturday night, and Iron Savages were in the ring with FTR. They got chants of, who are you? Who are you? Same thing with the fucking Righteous. Like, I don't want to see this shit. And the Righteous, I mean, can you get any more Wyatt family? I know Ray just passed away, God rest his soul, but that is very similar to what the Wyatt family did on AEW television, although we need to pay homage to what the Wyatt family was.
Yeah, I think that's where me and you kind of coincide and align. It's like, I get you're a huge fan, Tony, and I can see it. I appreciate it. But I think the fandom needs to be criticized sometimes. You know, older age, righteously push with Wyndham and all that. No. It makes WWE's not even doing that. WWE is not even doing that. So for me, it's like, no. And I mean, you know, it just hit me too. Seattle. Climate Pledge Arena, Wrestling. I got a funny feeling that you show.
I mean, his contract's up at the end of September, man. I mean, that's October 1.
It just makes sense because Tony announced that show right after All In, and I truly believe that that is his debut. I was just thinking about that. He's a big Pearl Jam fan. He being Edge, Seattle.
Seattle. It's in a ball Anyway, we are gonna get into the super chats. I want to thank you and the 3,000 people that were in here today, man. Thank you guys very much for this emergency episode on the channel. Drew called me up because like, you want to go live? I'm like, yep, let's do it. Let's do it. I was gonna do my own shit, but then when you got us together, man, the discussion's great. And there's a lot of different points of view coming at you, so hopefully you appreciate it. Follow us on social media at JD from NY206, at Visual Medalla on Twitter. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. I'm legitimately 50 subscribers away from 149,000 subscribers. I may already be there, I don't even know yet. And make sure you guys get those super chats, and we're gonna hang out in just a second and hit the thumbs up, and then we need 100 more likes for 1,000 likes on today's live stream. Justin Smith, the $2 super chat, and it's a tag team, please. Yeah, man, I like Wolves. I think that'd be a great tag team. Hopefully, gets right and continues to do what it's gotta do. Michelle Moran with a $2 super chat. I guess Raw and NXT will go to TNT and Amazon. Not necessarily. But we will find that out. Tyler, $1.99. What people from NXT getting cut? I'm not here to make that assumption, but it could be a mixture of NIL talent, and some of the talent that was on NXT that didn't really amount to anything. And I know that WWE was going to give a 6-month grace period to people to see if they were keeping the cut or not. So it could be a bunch of performance center people that have not made television yet. Tony Brown with the $4.99. WWE cleaning out the roster. They will do better elsewhere. I hope so. Tony.
Yeah, and ESPN did this with a lot of their talent, and they brought in Pat, Shannon Sharp, and some other people. So it's what happens. I would not be surprised to see some bigger names end up in WWE. Jade, Brian Pillman are not massively, but I would be on the lookout for a couple others.
Jocelyn Smith with the membership. Thank you, Jocelyn. Edward Lou, 25 months. Thank you, brother. As the WWE cared more for its rosters, TKO. Think again. Emma gets released right after the PLE announced in her home country. So messed up and sad for her. It's a disgusting situation, Evan. But you know, at the end of the day, business needs to be done. You know, TKO's not going to care about that stuff. Gone with a $5 super chat. Honestly, when will enough be enough? Can all the talent just band together and walk out already, or at least make a threat? I mean, the names that we went over, Gun, are not really all that surprising. I don't know why you want there to be a mass revolt here. Greg Moss getting released and a lot.
There's a reason why there's never been a wrestling union, so you can stop right now. It's just the mass revolt thing.
Lunar Guardian with 13 months. I can't think of a better way to spend my Thursday afternoon. Cheers. Thank you, Lunar Guardian. Appreciate it, brother. Michelle Moran, $5 Super Chat free agents 2024. Becky, Drew, Sheamus, Seth, and Kieran. Who will TKO Pete? I hope NBC didn't buy SmackDown rights, expecting Rock Roman to be there regularly. I don't think that had anything to do with it, but
it did. Yeah.
I would if I'm TKO WWE, I'm keeping all those names.
And here's the thing, right? NBCU knows that SmackDown's not going to do 2.2, 2.3 on USA Network. Yeah, they know that. That's why I'm telling you, when they purchased SmackDown, the amount of money that they did, it is a little bit of like a hey, give it us, and I'm gonna show you a little love, show me the love when we get one.
Yeah. A Watson with 16 months. The Vince McMahon reign of terror has begun. I'm glad you're feeling better, JD. Keep it up. Love your collaboration with Drew. Cheers, guys. Thank you, brother. Sinister Classic with a $5 Super Chat. Ziggler and Shelton, the gold standard, would be a great addition for Collision. Ziggler with the brother and Shelton with the Blackpool Combat Club. Ali would be great in Impact. Yeah, I like, listen, man, those are the most talented guys that come out of the crop of talent that was released today. They're going to be fun if they want to continue to do this thing. Today, why WWE didn't capitalize on Dolph Ziggler in 2014, I will never know. Tay, we talked, I think something similar was brought up on Tuesday when we were live on TNT 14. Why are we looking backwards and not looking forwards? Like, I don't understand you guys. Like, you're talking about something that happened 9 years ago? Who cares?
Yeah.
Yankee Frankie with $5 Super Chat. Couldn't see use Emma, Elias, Sheldon, and Dolph. Or couldn't they use Dolph and Sheldon as producers? I think NXT needs to continue to be up-and-coming developmental talent or indie talent you bring in. I am personally tired of moving the roster talent down there because WWE Creative has nothing for them on the main roster. I think that shit sucks. Eddie Hazard with a $10 Super Chat. Of everyone in the roster, I never thought I'd see Dolph released, but I can see a new life for him in AEW. Vic and Ryan could be a legendary tag team. I pay to see the Nemeth Bros versus FTR Bullet Club with gold. Listen, man, if anybody's celebrating this victory, it's probably Dolph's brother because, I mean, that's going to be a fucking whole new beginning for him, too. His brother ends up. RM Monster with a $4.99. Since people keep questioning the return of Nia Jax, I've been theory as to why WWE brought her back. Perhaps The Rock will request it. Maybe?
Yeah, we touched on that. I think that's it.
Yeah. Rock wants his family involved, and I wouldn't be surprised by that. Well-rounded Leo with a $4.99. Unpopular opinion, I like Nia Jax. What is your unpopular wrestling opinion?
That's a good question. I love the WrestleMania 12 Iron Man match.
It was a good match. Is it one of the greatest ever? I agree with that.
That's what they're supposed to do, the suit-size DC. They're ruthless. Well, you know what? It's not always the kid size. It's the right thing. And you're holding you. Right? It's McMahon ruthless way. Then there's the Mark Cuban way. Mark Cuban during the pandemic, for instance. Sure, there was no place. And not only that, but sure that everything of his needs was taken care of. Briefly, under Mark Cuban during that time of need was
whole time, the promotion is sure that he's not do mass layoffs, not try to cut, make sure everybody was good. The Twin Towns, a shit ton of money at that time, and ever since, no. Mark Cuban, because citizens. But shows the what? Good for them. Endeavor, choose. Cross over here, show over here, but wait for this. And it's necessary. We're going to achieve that goal. We don't play before Christmas time. What is Christmas? 3 months away, right? Give a shit. Right? You're out of a job. Fuck. This is just like some people up front. You know, the feeling is trust Nicholas. That to trust these people that really don't. Jack, Christopher Blackshirt, there's a lot of gold channel members up here. I'll tell you, it was great fun. It's been mentioned, said, if you thought Vince to the releases were bad, you see what our church was. You was the devil in form to see how it differs. Talent goods and glory ravaging. Wait, that shit. Big C said, man, I didn't know you. Just WWE off. I told you for years. I've been out drunk.
Hey, folks, Duke's gonna take a break here to go take a.
Oh, real quick, I want to give a shout out over to channel membership on something.
Arnold will be here to be spinning those tunes. You hear that, Orny?
Those other names were mind-boggling. It's not fake outrage. It's
Oh, come on, it's not fair.
you couldn't
I
like your
said
chickens.
no, Orny. You're not ready yet.
To God's
Your
will,
brain is
9
more shaky
membership,
than
Dolph
epileptic
Ziggler, wow, one of the
scandal
most one of the
Just
talents
press
on that
this
roster,
when the
even for his.
song's over,
God, well, I'm gonna
okay?
get to that, brother. I appreciate the membership as always. Oh,
Producing
it's
deficit
9
is
months
not
as well. I
leadership.
believe we've only had memberships for 9 months, so
I
these
want
are
some more Death
these
Claw
are
ice
individuals who
cream.
didn't want
Nah.
now
Orny,
the
shut the fuck
gold
up.
channel membership. People something
Ice cream
he's
cold
here
doesn't come for another 2 days.
dropping by to show some love and respect.
Okay, I pressed the button.
Wait, no, not yet.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the wolfies there. Appreciate you, brother. Take the 9-month membership to the channel. Ziggler being released can be so hard because he is one of my favorite wrestlers. We're gonna spell Ziggler in a second, Demonte. Trust me. I appreciate the membership. Appreciate you always up. Doc. Love to see it. Keep amplified. It's the update turn 23. Appreciate you, brother. Keep on coming in, listening to these podcasts. I'll keep dishing them out. Update turn 23. Appreciate you. Turn on the outside. Forgot to mention it. Make sure that we knock that 100 out of the ballpark so the thousands that catch this afterwards. Because again, I was only able to get 20 minutes of notice on this live stream, and there's 2 other uploads today. So make sure that you guys are setting a good tone. The thousands out of which is more than what we've the releases. Alright. Now this is just this because again, they want to recoup about let me fix that camera angle. They want to do about 50 to $100 million in cut cost, right? So again, you're gonna do this. Pretty done. Ziggler is that right name. I wish this was like Richard gets dog game or something. The headline demon that you tweet is that line of this current first class of punts, and this is the one that's pitching stuff. Ziggler is one of those guys that it's everything you could possibly do. His moves are actually Is that for real? It's breaking right now, guys. This is when we went live, somebody's saying Dana Brooke just got released. So now I'm gonna have to check this. Hold on. It's not one of those things where we're live as this is happening. We might be finding out before we're releasing as we're live. Dana Brooke has been released. Dana Brooke is gone from WWE. It looks like that is true. So there's new guys. There's names. Hold on. Mace and Mansoor have just been released. Quincy Elliott from Montana. Montana. Quincy Elliott just joined from the Dragon. Never seen it. They are the some male models. They have just been released. Say, it's Brooke. It's like, it's continuing. Try to get more word on this because the Gasly just went live. More names are being names have just been added. Okay, still didn't really do. Just NXT that for lunch. It's lavage. Listen, you listen. Sweet, you're shouting. Baron cannot connect with an audience. Baron had to go back to his team. Go to his first character. I don't get to. And then bring back Nia Jax. You know you're doing these cuts, so you bring back Nia Jax. It's almost like they're just poking at fans. Like, we're gonna have her run through the female roster, and then we're gonna have the female roster literally get released. I'm not just talking about an Aaliyah. I'm talking about people like Emma, who never really had a chance this second go around. I say this is long overdue. Guess what? We said that about Nia, and Nia came back. You know, you force people like Sasha Banks, Trinity Fatu, force them to go away. Make Kyrie Sane go back to Japan. She doesn't want to be there. People like Ember Moon, out of employment, not for long. She ends up being a Thea, and she's not over at AEW. Becky James, at her age, can run circles around most of these wrestlers. How do you lose Becky James? How do you lose Sasha Banks? How do you lose Naomi? How do you lose Ember Moon? How do you lose these females? Just to bring back Nia Jax. Get something over something. Just we were talking, guys, we just went live about 14, 15 minutes ago, and then a crop of individuals just got released while we were on the air. Dana Brooke, Massey, Mace, and Mansoor. I think we get some so alright, let me go back. You guys keep me up to you guys just make sure you guys are keeping me up to date because I have a show to do right now. I'm lost. So let me start with Dolph Ziggler and my thoughts. Dolph Ziggler is a guy who checked off everything. Ziggler can talk, you just didn't know that because his best promos were backstage on WWE.com. Or stupid platforms like this or elsewhere, but never on the television show. But it did get awesome. And it did invested in what Dolph had to say. Dolph was a champion. And he was a damn good champion. I'm not. Just sent out a. Listen to the big he said it. So,
This is all happening very quickly with the roster cuts. But Big E worked with Dolph when he won that championship with AJ Lee. You guys remember that meeting? The response, the reaction was through the roof. Big E says, and I quote, "I was so immensely fortunate to start my time on the main roster next to Dolph Ziggler. Lessons about this craft and watching and listening to Dolph. One of the smoothest workers I've ever been in the ring with. Thank you for everything you've done for me, Zigman." End quote. So that is a heartfelt message from... I'm just talking about the mic skills right now. Storyline, and he was recently went to what he was doing in their world title picture. See, from the time Tuesday night. His wrestling skills. This guy was Shawn Michaels personified. His skills, he could sell a spear like he just got planted into the orbit. He could sell a super kick like his whole body just went into section 312 in the upper deck. He would sell and make he's like $1 billion. He would sell his ass off. Maybe on the line. So that the match was good. Dollars, and in the process, he stole the show. That's what no. This is just disagree. Which channel, you know what I've always said about Ziggler. And then you have JD in the show. Take Ziggler and wants to go from the top to set the message. Ziggler was never even the top. Treated like a child for years. So even the JD shit makes sense. Then, the flip side, and by the way, Darkman 060, welcome to the unit, brother. Welcome to the gold team, welcome to channel membership. Salute to you. The man 060, I just called it. Shining up in green, right? That new gold card. Darkman 060, shine that gold card up, brother. Always utilize that to the most amplified of measures. I appreciate that. Now, to Dolph's disadvantage, guys. To Dolph's disadvantage is that Dolph Ziggler, toward the last couple of years, he's kind of just been beat. He hasn't really beaten us. He was beating superstars. But he has other things that he does. Comedy. And there's a lot of outside ventures of WWE, a lot of hobbies that he does, things that he eventually wants to turn into money. So, I totally get that. Because Dolph just let everything go to the wayside in his book, he had that this day would one day come. So Dolph did not help himself out at all. Not blame the cause. Just, he was a good soldier for the company. You can't just be a good soldier for people like Vince Man for sure, or Endeavor's Ari. Can't do it. These are ruthless businessmen. And yes, I mean, he for sure. Ruthless. You guys see what Riddick Moss said? Riddick Moss said, "I know you guys all think my booking went down drastically after Mr. LaFont took over. My stock actually rose in per or whatever. He was having some fun. But he was looking at once Paul took over, Rick Moss wasn't seen there. He was in status. So, these guys are all ruthless. They're all come from the same cloth, and that's how they decide to do business. But you believe that if you're just a good soldier and you're not raising a flush, you ain't gonna get much, you know? And skip up to credit too far. All people like that. John Cena's and the Hogans, these people knew from a very young start in their career, you gotta be savage, or this company is gonna rip you apart. These people knew that. Jonathan Cena to this day. No, he's not working. They did to Roman Reigns live. You're gonna have to learn how to do it if you want to be big dog. It was quote live on Raw. They did the most area. See through. They fight. One wrestler after another. John Cena has He knows. I didn't even look what he did to Alex. Measure. He knows this is a dog eat. And to this, John Cena's like, you ain't just no. Dolph Ziggler never said anything. Ziggler never said anything. And that was a detriment. Again, he deserved to be released. He's too good. And it's one of those things you just fathom. We've been seeing best Dolph in the longest times. I told you guys not long ago, he deserves. He needs one big run. Is that a real thing? Shaky gets released, Marquise? Shaky definitely released. Well, so far I'm at Dolph Ziggler. That's just up front. We'll talk more about Dolph, obviously. He has been released. Stuff about Ali. Ali has been asking times. Here's my yeah. But once Denver came around, everybody was fuck, what the fuck? It's like a Joker character. I'll lose himself. And it's a good thing that this release happened because I think this benefit Ali. He's been wanting out of there for a while. Still sucks. Was not utilized to the best of his abilities creatively. Combines with talents. It's because it's going to be something big with Retribution, and that got massive after Retribution. You know what died with Retribution was Ali's push that was gone, and Ali never recovered from Retribution, man. But Ali is also, he's gone. Here goes Riddick Moss, as I said, and his real-life girlfriend Emma, who is also under contract with WWE. Riddick Moss and Emma have been released, fired by WWE. Emma never really even came back and never had a chance to do anything. I really don't. It just announced. I put up the podcast a few hours ago. We took big events for us. In Australia, a big super show. They give you guys $10 and you check it. But when they come to Australia, standards must have at least the whole big Boston as well. Judging by what Boss said. So, Ali, we have Riddick Moss, and he never had a chance after his injury to really become anything. I was with him in a lot of this. Magic got fucking Stephen Notes in an open. That was fun. He's had a lot of talent. I thought if you utilize him correctly, this guy can suck. He's got the personality, he's got the look, he can go. WrestleMania happened. Injury against the Usos, I believe. And he was never since they didn't know what to do with him, and they just gave up on him. And all of that just didn't know how to utilize him. And Vince, by that point, he was already kind of in and out of the big man wasn't as eager as I don't know what to do with this guy. Now, also, guys, he's the weakness that just she got used to what she lived on years, and there's just so many fans. Let's first did not get this wrestling thing quick enough. It's not nowhere near the 40 wrestlers in WWE, on the planet, you name it, at the local level. She's beautiful. She got the purest. And I'm not opposed to seeing her went somewhere.
Hmm.
Maybe somebody to equalize her. It could be she's just too feeling talents that we her up. You gets she's not there, but if she was, you could never. You never with a such a she could never have beyond the belly. Even children. This lady should have you talent. And after all this time, it's just too much. Just too much.
Hold on.
As much as there's so people.
Hold on. You can get NPCs for dungeons now? Oh my. That is amazing. If that is true. Holy crap. I gotta take a quick break, folks. I'll be right back.
Rubby baby bunky? No. Rubber baby bunky bodies. Ah, no, I can't remember.
Arnie, you're gonna get your ass kicked. I said just press this button. Why is that smoking? God damn it, Arnie. You fried it.
Tax credits for those without employee health insurance.
This is Duke with 8-bit hits. Time for your tip of the day. Always remember, life can end in two ways. And in both of them, you would die.
Oh man, holy crap. Whew! Oh, let's get it back. Oh man. Whew!
That's great. Spot. So, oddly, Riddick Moss. Ever since he made Michael Cole look like an idiot. Of course, he's on SmackDown, top dollars, about the leapfrog, run over and things. He's about to just catapult himself. You know, he gets his feet hung up, but just does a unbelievable selling it. And he just botched it and fell on his feet. And Michael Cole never forgot that. Michael Cole, distant friend, Geeks top dollar is gone. Flop dollars, somebody said it. I was on Letters, I think it was Flop dollars. I started calling up. So Top Dollar is also gone. Schultz, fine. Shelton Benjamin's another one of those cases. You just gotta scratch your head and go, wow, the business was on top of the world for a minute, and then they just dismantled them. And Cedric and Shelton allowed them to. Eric Leto, thank you for the 9 months for the gold status. I appreciate you. Salute. So you had somebody like Shelton Benjamin, who's, of course, even after her business broke up. But just like so many other individuals, all of them, McMahon, nothing for them. We're just there waiting for Shelton Benjamin. here we are with Brock Lesnar's best friends in real life. Benjamin's Benjamin's gonna matter. I mean, as it is, Bobby Lashley hasn't hurt since. My great. Better than the hurt. High praise for Montez Ford, and we want to see better out of it. Just looks like as just team street profits. There's like no. Sure, I think the way it beats. It's like there's something different. They're sitting there not doing something. Walk to them. These they're straight. Just they breathe, and we're supposed to go. I don't think we would ever have to break up the herd. It's absolutely stupid. Also, guys, hold on. Just got I don't know. Has been stifled. You listen. Should I know that you listen times? Well, it always sucks. You never want to see somebody lose their job. I must know who they are. Maybe I'm just not identifying, right? You listen. No, I have no fucking idea. What? Ollie Shelton. Yes. Elias has been released, cut, fired by WWE. Elias, it was one of my favorite dudes. So it's like never got the proper booking that he deserved as well, and it sucks that I can't watch him anymore. All first this year, go on. He's ready, right? All it's tremendous. God, she was good for Mercedes Monet. It's her WWE, then she goes and gets injured, can't see her baby. Tom, Bray Wyatt, Sasha Banks channel, Bill Sasha WWE, and Bray Wyatt for obviously much love and respect. Salute to the big man upstairs. This is gone. Protect the Usos and the Usos. Well, you're gonna see the Usos. There's unfortunately much love. I involved as well there as well. Look, Usos are split up too. They're just one way or the other taken out, but unfortunately, Elias is gone. Now, technically, is he at least still out there, I believe. Ezekiel, man. That's the younger brother of Elias. Now, Elias sent out a statement. He said he was honored to play Ezekiel. I'm hearing elsewhere that Ezekiel's contract is still out there. So, we'll see. But in all seriousness, man, it sucks to see Elias also shot. Meister, 9-month work stag. Ali getting like no mercy. Yeah, he's not anymore. I'm Meister, by the way. Appreciate the 9-month membership and appreciate Jones up here. Stegmeister property. Solid. Stegmeister, I'm guessing that's why they did Dragon League Dominic for Monday Night Raw. I'm guessing they knew exactly what was happening. And guys, real quick, can I just say, that's most likely why you saw Michael Cole in me go to Monday Night Raw. It's my breaking hours ago. Fox has been smacked out. They went to my sending conversation. I told you this. Fox was not the real role, but they wanted SmackDown. For the year. In play, so like Raw to get everything situated. what up, it's not related to the top. No hard feelings, son. My sins. The best we flexed last week against the Falcons. It's good. At the Saints are not going to be spicy level with no appreciation. So that's my initial thoughts on the roster cuts. Ziggler, Ali, Elias, Shelton, Benjamin, Emma, Rick, Dollar, and Olympic. And have all been released, cut, fired by WWE. Look, is gone. You just see. Now, one team across the towns there, guys. Was there anybody else that confirmed? He just said, live. Last week on NXT lost a simplistic match with Tyler Bate. Chair 9, Tyler dude was like 15 feet at least 14 feet. Slight exaggeration. Damacado and loss. It's like that's the type of loss where the company is you have nothing more. And sure enough, see, now everything is starting to make sense. Crazy how that all worked. But Damacado is gone. Also shaking. And feelings right now. It's not happy that lost. See, never to Monday Night Raw. Yeah, Quincy, Ellie, as well. You guys are saying the list of Leon, who I'm just not familiar with. Teams with Valentina Faraz. I don't know her either. And I don't know who these people are. So, it's lost their job. There's no way that I can know who these guys are.
Oh, wow.
Is that everybody so far? I'll put up for it now. There's probably gonna be more names tonight. I can't be live too much longer. I gotta keep this one in my mouth. We'll probably hear more names tonight. Now, obviously, there's just likely tomorrow, guys. I don't know if we can do it live, but it will be a podcast. Can't leave. Channel started. I just put up a podcast where I just recorded the podcast, a big hour plus. And the second I was recording that podcast, I get news on SmackDown. Fox said no, SmackDown, we're done, and SmackDown is now going to NBC Universal. So I put up breaking news. 2 hours later, I put up a podcast, and here we are 2 hours later doing this live stream. What? Fuck it. Bro. Guys, we're about to go 200 on the ups. I appreciate that. What was it? That Ron C23. Definitely smash that up so that this will go out to the thousands that are not able to catch this live, guys. I definitely appreciate that. What do you guys think, man? Dolph Ziggler and Ali, Dana Brink, Emma.
It was never about a sale of the company. It was. Since we the Hobbs Mustang, drive on down the freeway and take an exit to scot-free. It's never going to happen, man. It's never going to happen. He tried to manipulate the system Instead of selling the company or putting the WWE into the hands of people that actually care about the company, he sold it to Ari Emanuel, someone that he's known for 20 years, thinking that he could cheat the system. And we got subjected to WWE and all these suits and ties, using this big word, these key words like.
Let's see what this one is all about.
I'll show you some fucking CG. Man, and it's not that puts a smile on this man's face. This we actually went over this break. Do you guys want all the releases? SmackDown moving on Fox to NXT next year. Got you covered, man. Go and check that live stream out. It's a nice 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's a great listen, insightful, and there's some great discussion in there. But in that podcast, there was a news article that proved legitimately while we were live, and I'm going to go over this myself here today. Apparently, TKO, the new company now that is now WWE and UFC, TKO admits that took its business. Shit. You didn't think about that before man stole the to you. You didn't think about that when you
What the fuck was that?
and you sat
But, you know, the Duke doesn't get scared. You know, should I say,
you didn't think
pretty concerning. I don't
you had
get
to
scared.
try and convince everybody that it's right still
God damn
the
it, Ernie.
WWE.
What the fuck? Yeah,
Man.
see, I do
Sure
scare
thing.
you, dog. You don't get
Sure,
scared.
he told you to sit down live on CNBC. Now, Vince McMahon could be a major liability in his business.
No,
So,
dog. Please stop hurting me.
some of the interesting stock-related, you know, tidbits that they came upon while sifting through recent SEC filings made by WWE and TKO Holdings. The latter of which means new name as a result of the WWE's mutual smoke UFC TKO Holdings. Vince McMahon's status with TKO is the main focus. These verdict. It's noted that McMahon currently holds around 28.4 million in TKO shares, which was valued at yesterday's market close. TKO has registered all of McMahon's shares for sale, thus enabling him to a lockup period that applies to other TKO stockholders like Endeavor and Silver Lake. Now, the book goes on to say that this registration rights agreement outlined by TKO might just be about giving McMahon and TKO flexibility in light of the ongoing federal investigation into McMahon's alleged misconduct that was widely reported on last summer's related hush money payments story, Wall Street Journal. Those hush money payments were unrecorded, and they were not put on the WWE line sheet to be told to the investors. This was made by McMahon. McMahon was the center of all this. TKO's statement that Vince McMahon, Nick Khan, and Stephen R. who are the directors of TKO will be selling stockholders in this offering is at least causing some folks to wonder if this is hinting at Vince's potential from the company. CEOs mentions this in a quote in this article. They mention that in another regulatory filing, TKO indicated potential liability to their business. Could expose us to publicity and or have other adverse financial operational impacts on our business, which also get additional scrutiny or otherwise exacerbate the other risks described herein. Any of these comes directly or indirectly have adverse financial and operational impacts on our business. And hate Vince McMahon. I can't stand him. I hate him with the fucking flare of a million suns. I could sit here and tell you every reason why creatively Vince McMahon should stay as far away from the WWE product as humanly possible. I can sit here and tell you all that. You all know that. You all know that this generation of WWE is not really what it needs as far as Vince McMahon is concerned. We want a new, fresh, young, vibrant administration who has its ear on the ground, that it has its pulse to the rest of the wrestling industry to make the WWE better for years and years and years to come. That's what we want. Everybody who watches the product knows that Triple H is probably what the company needs. Everybody that watches the product, and if you're not watching me, I've been saying it religiously. Everybody that watches the product knows that Triple H is not completely in charge, and he's not able to do what he needs to make the show because he has the old fucking shadow. Fucking a huge storm is just coming, and it's not going away. That's exactly what it is. Vince thought get away. Vince thought by selling the company and getting it starting, he's known for over 20 years that things were just gonna magically go away. They're not gonna go away. Everything that Vince, all of his past endeavors, no pun intended, all of his past decisions are going to come back and haunt him. You don't think that there was something fucked up with Vince McMahon carried on the sale of the company? I mean, I called it out from day one. It was the bad sale of the company. This man was a meeting in Titan Tower with Nick Khan, Triple H, and Ari Emanuel present. And the people there were in on this meeting to listen to this. Read their eyes. To be sold because the company was, and it was and whatever other fucking word he used, plateau. The company had plateau needed to be sold. You know what Vince McMahon is talking about with WWE earlier this year? Right into the year, record numbers, and the numbers have only gotten better. It's gone. We just to NBCU for SmackDown for 0.4. It's much more money. It's a lot more money than what WWE was making with Fox. It's a good 40% increase over what WWE was receiving by Fox to have SmackDown air on. Everything seems to be on the up and up in this new administration, but seems to think that the WWE is stagnant and had plateaued. This would have happened without the sale of the company. What you heard in SmackDown would have happened without the sale of the company. Vince McMahon did not need to sell the company. The company was in good hands. Vince only sold the company because he knew the only way for him in a last power play ever, the only way for him to have needs because the Wall Street Journal was to sell